welcome to the Wondrous Ascension Rite 2022, the light at the end of the tunnel virtual retreat. My name is Sandra Thomas from Your Glorious Ascension Journey, your host in this event, and together with this amazing group of channelers, authors, astrologers, spiritual teachers, intuitives, and mediums, they're all of them and myself committed to helping you to find the most powerful tools, those tips and guidance, the inspiration that so many of us need at this time so that you can ride this wondrous and challenging ascension wave we're absolutely in the midst of as we speak. And today I am really super excited to interview an incredible author, speaker, and channeler. She is currently channeling, she's been doing this for some time. She's going to tell us more about that. She currently channels the divine wisdom and higher energies of the collective group of higher beings that includes the ascended masters, the angels, the archangels, fairy elders, earth elementals, galactic family members, and other higher guides assisting humanity's ascension into fifth dimensional life. She's also the author of 8 books, 6 of them channeled from the collective, and 1 channeled from the spirit of, guess who? Yes, John Lennon. She was here with us last year. And the latest book channeled from the collective is The New Earth Journeys. The collective speak on dealing with personal and global crisis. What can be more timely than this, right? She's a co-host on the bbsradio.com show, A Night at the Round Table. And in addition to doing individual sessions, she offers channelings on current issues on her YouTube channel. And she also leads the Abundance Group of community of light workers who meet for free twice a month conference calls to expand their abundance vibration and visions for the, new earth that we are now experiencing. So without any further ado, let's welcome Caroline Oceana Ryan. Thank you, Caroline. I'm so thrilled that you're back with us. How are you doing?
Hello to everyone. I'm well, thank you. And
I'm
really lovely to be here.
So happy to have you here, and I cannot wait to for the channeling of the collective and to say what they have to listen to what they have to share with us today. How have you been?
It's so funny because, like a lot of people, I feel this buoyancy. These beautiful new energies have come in, and yet at the same time, so much is shifting and changing. Our neural pathways are shifting because the way our brains work are shifting. The solar flares, the coronal mass ejections, it can do more. It not only throws off electronics, to me, that's the least of it. It readjusts our electromagnetic frequency, and that includes our minds and emotions, our bodies. And then there's everything going on in the world, which is so intense. People still reeling from the pandemic and the restrictions of that. And now there's this awful military action going on in Ukraine, and as well as in other areas. And we just want the madness to stop. We want Nasara to happen. And I'm encouraging people every day, call them in, call in the Ashtar Command, call in the archangels. I say it probably 10 times a day. That would be great if you want to help us enact Nasara law, please, and full disclosure of the galactic presence so that we here on Earth can rejoin the Galactic Federation. And so a lot happening at once.
A lot going on indeed in our lives, and we cannot wait to see the changes more obviously, right? Like out there, we know that things are happening backstage, but we would like, I think you would agree, we would like to see that with our physical eyes a little bit more, right? Probably to see the shifts.
That's what's difficult. We know that a lot is going on in favor of humanity, in favor of assisting the Earth, but we don't see that much happening outwardly because our media is, controlled by the old crowd, the old powers that were, and because you and I on an everyday level are not privy to the information of what's going on with, a a lot of things having to do with the Ashtar commanding, assisting us right now, pulling out the old power structure, pulling them out of place, and also getting ready for full disclosure of the galactic presence. And the archangels are involved in that. Archangel Michael is on the ground, he's here on the earth. Saint Germain is here on the earth, Lady Master Portia, all Lady Master Nada, and so many others assisting actually in physical form. And I am thrilled that so much is happening at a time that you and I are not only here to witness it, but to fully experience and be involved in it. And we can contribute our energies, even though you and I aren't any big, operative and all of that. We're still anchoring a ton of light, each of us. That's what we're all here for. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And we would love to hear more about the Star Command and the Galactic Command and the Ascended Masters. But before we do that, as always, I think it's always nice to start with the beginnings, because there are always new people coming in, new viewers, and younger generations of awakeners. And they're beginning to just, get to know us more, get to know our beautiful guests. And how about just a word or two about how you develop these talents, and a little bit about your background, if you can, please share us.
Yeah, well, that's kind of a long story. I'll just keep it brief. That I remember being able to, and really anyone could do this, but I, like a lot of light bearers, I knew there were angels in the room. I would talk to them. I would talk to this wise presence that seemed to be a woman who was, a grown up. Even when I was tiny, I didn't recognize then she was my higher self, but I've always had help. I've always had support. Have had a very rough time growing up, illness and, abuse in the family, very dysfunctional sort of setup, and raised in a very right-wing evangelical context in the church, which wasn't quite right for me. But I still developed a strong connection to Yeshua and to, Mother Mary and to at the angelic realm. And when I was small, I absolutely believed in the fairy realm as well. And then as you get older, you kind of drop that because people laugh at it. But then I went back to it at some point, and I don't remember when exactly, but I've always been able to hear what these beautiful higher beings are saying to me. And over the years, I had to learn to discern, because when you're a channeler, when you're very empathic, when you're young, you can pick up on different presences, and you have to learn to discern what's a fake, somebody pretending to be an ascended master or an archangel, and what is a real actual archangel or ascended master. So I had to learn that, and I would channel answers from my higher self or the universe, to questions I had. And then about in 2014, I guess, I thought, wow, I used to channel for myself, and I see all these channelings online. Why can't I do that for other people? But I don't know who I should channel, maybe archangels, or I didn't know exactly. Yeah. And within a day, this beautiful presence came in and they said, they call themselves the Collective, or We Are One. And I said, all right. And they said, we have messages to light workers. Could you take those down and share them? So I started doing that. So March 2014, ever since then, more than 8 years now, I've been putting out a weekly message to light workers, sometimes in video form, usually written. And then they said after a while, we would like you to take down a book. And that became the first Ascension manual. And so there's been 6 of their books so far. And people really relate to it very strongly. I think they sense all the love coming through the collective.
Absolutely.
And there are archangels, angels, fairy elders, the earth elements, galactic, Star Nations family members, beautiful higher light beings. And it's just a huge group, probably thousands. I couldn't even tell you how many are in there. But they come through really clearly. They do have a sense of humor, which is wonderful.
Yes,
and
so needed.
They are strongly, some are in the Ashtar Command, which is this astounding I want to say, I don't know if you want to call it a federation, but it's a command of galactic beings who are assisting Earth, and they're very far ahead of us. They're higher dimensional, and For instance, the captain Ashtar has been around for millions of years and in the same body, because you don't have to age or die, obviously, if you're very higher dimensional. So that's how it all started. I just extended what I've always done, and the time was right for that, I guess.
Can you distinguish when you're channeling them? Can you distinguish who's speaking, or you just sense them and feel them as a group of, high vibrational beings? Can you tell who's who when they're delivering their message through you?
That's a really good question. A friend of mine, Omina McGee, who's an amazing psychic, she said there's one presence that tends to predominate, and it's masculine. And I said, yes, that's right. And I feel it's Sananda, Lord Sananda, Kumara. But I'm not sure. And of course, he's sort of, the oversoul for Yeshua and Gautama Buddha and Shem, son of Noah, Joshua. He's had all these different earth lives. He's on the earth right now. People don't generally realize that. And assisting the Ashtar Command in cleaning things up, shall we say.
So much to clean up. Isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, well, I can ask specific people, because when I'm doing sessions, people say, well, could I hear from Babaji, or could I hear from Mary Magdalene, or could I hear from, Lady Master Portia, or just Saint Germain, or what have you. And sometimes I'll do a written channeling just from one of those people or somebody else, whoever wants to come through. And so, yes, I can do individuals, but I don't ever get a sense of individual. There's so much of one mind as I'm channeling with the group. It's a definite, beautiful energy signature. And there is a masculine presence that comes forward a bit. But other than that, I couldn't tell you, specifically, oh, this person is predominant today, unless they came forward and said they wanted to speak specifically. Yeah.
That suggests that they are the epitome of unity consciousness, right? Being as one group, in total harmony, synchronicity, high vibrational messages. And this is, to me, a model to look forward to, from the point of view of humanity, moving towards that direction as a collective, right? Moving towards unity consciousness. Could that be a model to pursue to some extent, trying to emulate them?
Yes, exactly right. That's a very good point. And I feel like that's their point, that they want us to realize that unity consciousness is what humanity is moving toward, and that we can achieve that and do it on the level of not everybody thinking exactly the same all the time, because I've noticed individual members of the collective have different things to contribute. They haven't given up their individual voices. That would be complete unity or oneness, that would be complete universal oneness, but which is the next step, I guess. But they speak as one because they're all in agreement in terms of their energy signature and what they want to offer the world. And yes, we can absolutely join them in that, and it's very, very beautiful. We can grasp this collective unity consciousness for ourselves on this planet. But we're all going to have to admit that all of the separatism and the individual political differences and the social strata, and the social classes and the boundaries between nations and tribes, all that's got to stop. We've got to give up ego identification with all those labels.
Yeah. Is it correct, Caroline, to say that those, I don't know what to call them, leaders, or those who inspired, let's say, the still current religions, that they are nowadays in their ascended states, galactics? Is that appropriate to say that? Are they galactic souls at this point? Do they assist us from a standpoint of, in the starships, whichever they are, and the higher realms? Is that appropriate to say that they are there now, helping us
absolutely
from there?
Absolutely. The whole planet is surrounded by literally billions of ships, for one thing. And the mothership, the central command ship of the Ashtar Command, is a 5,000 mile in diameter mothership. And that's quite near the Earth. It's just that
Wow.
they're cloaked. If they weren't cloaked, we would have no sunlight. It would be all shadow because there's so many of them.
Impressive. Oh
And
my
some are
God.
neutral, some are just watching us. Maybe a few even might be, not particularly benevolent, but curious. And I'd say the vast majority of benevolent, because we're obviously being helped. Our Earth would be unlivable if they didn't help us purify our water, our air, our soil for the crops. I know that there's still a lot of toxicity, but you and I are still living and breathing, which is a big indication that we've been getting a ton of help, because the old system has been really, frankly, trashing the Earth for centuries, and they don't care what happens to human beings, obviously. They don't care if most of us disappear in thin air. They're fine with that. They just want a few of us and to make us slaves. But that is completely ending now, that old regime. Completely being taken off the Earth, and they're being taken to tribunals off planet. They will face the old powers that were, the leaders. They will face tribunals to answer for their crimes, and they think they're going to go on forever. This is why they keep pulling out all the stops to stay in control, but it's not working. So absolutely, they're assisting us. These beautiful higher dimensional ET and angelic beings and light beings and ascended masters, and absolutely are getting a ton of help. I know people will say, why can't they just intervene and fix everything? And I used to think that, and then I always say, but then they'd be our new overlords. Is that what you want? They want us to stand strong in and of ourselves and be sovereign beings and claim complete sovereignty for our planet. They're not going to swoop in and take away our free will and fix everything for us. They are assisting, but that's a big difference. Big difference between that and just coming in.
That's so true. That's so true. Would be replacing them. I have a question. I've seen some voice showers saying that, let us say, some of the most popular, well-known leaders in the world, political leaders, have been taken away and rounded up, and that there are others in their place. Now, if this is the case, why is it that these replacements are still so evil and they're still causing so much havoc? You know what I mean, right?
I know what you mean.
This is true. I don't know what to think about it. What is your perception, and what are your thoughts about these possibility?
Well, yes, some of them have been replaced by clones. Cloning has existed for a very, very long time, actually thousands of years. And they knew how to do it in Egypt in the high period of Egypt. And some have been replaced by clones, yes. Not all, but a lot of the bigger names. And some by solid holograms. So they appear to be solid people, but that can be switched off basically. And I'm just going to ask the collective I have my own ideas, but I'm going to ask them. Okay, so they're saying this is the way of playing out the end of the story of the old powers that were, because the real ones, the real crooks, are being taken off planet to Sirius C to Dracos, from what I understand from the Ashtar Command White Knights, and they will stand trial. But they're playing out the story in the sense that in this way things are maybe a little more under control, that the clones can be stopped, or that legitimate real leaders can step into their place once Nasara is enacted and we vote. There'll be new elections within 3 or 4 months, 120 days.
Good news.
But what the old powers that were have been up to is doing away with a number of US presidents. They did this with this one and the one before, and then they replaced them with a clone, and they've got the clone programmed. So the clone doesn't go off script. He does exactly as he's told. And sometimes they'll do this with major media figures as well. So the old powers that were are in control to a degree. Now, with some of them, there are some solid holograms, certain political presences, and that is not something that the powers that were concocted. That's because those people have been pulled off planet to face hearings, and they've been put in what do they call it on a ship, a jail on a ship, I forget what it's called. They're being held. But there has to be a representation of them on the earth in order to that not everything topple. We have to have somebody who looks to be them, and then come out as we're ready, as
Now,
Nasaras and
my question is, are they placed by the, let's say, the positive forces or the negative forces, these clones?
Sometimes. Sometimes, for instance, all right, here's an example. In the case of Senator Ed Kennedy, the all powers that were didn't realize or didn't care, I don't know, that a clone had been put in his place because they knew that the Ashtar Command, the White Knights, knew that he was in danger. They were going to kill him. So the clone got cancer and died. And then the real Ed Kennedy had to depart, go elsewhere. And that happened. Same thing happened, I think, with Michael Jackson. A number of people. They've been protected because they knew that this person was in line to be assassinated. So the real person is secreted off somewhere and living a quiet life. And the clone is the one that gets killed. And so that, yes, that can happen. And then, as I say, other times the clone is put in place because it's sort of the old crowd says, oh, we can absolutely program this one and control them. We couldn't control the real person, but we can control the clone. So it's different scenarios according to.
Yeah. That's so amazing, so interesting. Wow. And so complex. It's very complex, all of these things for us to understand with our limited minds, to understand how this plan is unfolding, right? Wow, amazing. This is fascinating. So my question now is that, if we think about light workers also, right? We're all experiencing these moments when we're feeling a little bit like, when will we see these changes? And there's so much to clean and to clear and to heal. And it looks like layers keep coming up to the surface for us. And we begin, many of us, especially those new awakeners, I think, probably more so, they're thinking, where is my soul mission? How can they align with their soul mission and yet live off that? Because I think that the first thing is to, let's figure out what my soul mission is, which is the highest. It's supposed to give us peace of mind and peace of heart, but then to live off that still. And well, maybe it's not a 3D world anymore, but we still need the money until something happens to change the course of events. But how can we transition through all of these stages and still be self-sustained? Like, it's not easy, right, at this time to be self-sustaining.
Yeah, well, I can bring in the collective if you'd like, because
absolutely,
as I bring them in, their energies have already been here, but I think people will benefit from their energies a bit more that way.
Absolutely, so, yes.
Yeah, that wonderful. If everyone just wants to sort of close their eyes, it helps me to put my hand on my heart, to center myself in my heart. Go into your breathing, where you're breathing in through the nose with mouth closed. Slowly, and then slowly breathing out through the open mouth. Just continue that for a while. That's going to put us in our heart space. And then we're more centered in our energies and open to receive. Just be open to receive whatever's for your higher good. And I'll bring them in just a moment. Oh, greetings, dear ones. We are very pleased to have this time to speak with you today at this beautiful gathering. And this dear one is such a wonderful leader, a light leader, to have organized this beautiful retreat for all of you. And so we look at this question of what is happening exactly? How do I sustain myself in such a difficult time and also feel to be fulfilling my life path and to be fulfilling the earth mission I came in with and to find my vocation. It's hard enough just to get a job in some places. This is understandable, yes. So your old structure, your old economic structure, based on lack and debt and extreme inequality, not only of income, but of living styles and forms of living, and homes and schools and whatnot, extreme inequality, those times are leaving because this does not match this beautiful higher vibration the earth is holding now, increasing each day, each moment, and the beautiful vibration that all of you are experiencing. Likewise, it is increasing all of the time. And if one does not resist, you will see some people resisting the shift. Maybe they're distracting themselves a bit more these days with drink or food or the video games or the television, etc. And that's understandable. They're a little shaken up. They're not sure what to make of all these new feelings and experiences. And others of you are very open, which is completely wonderful. It will be easier for you. You spend time out in nature, you meditate, you allow yourself quiet moments in the day where you're just relaxing, if possible. Difficult if you have young children, of course, but if possible, a few quiet moments, speaking with your spirit team, saying, I'm open, tell me what I need to know. You're allowing this beautiful evolution, this beautiful coming out of the cocoon to occur in ways that you're not resisting. You're open to it. You're cognizant of the fact that, yes, I have called this in. I am here to hold the light. And yet you have to, of course, still pay the bills and take care of yourselves and any loved ones with you. So, all right. And that in addition to wanting to fulfill your earth mission. This is another reason to get quiet each day and to say to your spirit team, things have really changed. And I still need to earn money at the moment. But how can I do that in a way that honors me and other people, that maybe uses at least one or two gifts, things I really love to do. And if I'm supposed to go into business for myself, be an independent contractor and not depend on an employer, as millions decided to do during this illness situation, just tell them that's fine. I'm more than happy to do that. If you have an internet hook up, a laptop or what have you, you would be surprised the amazing and wonderful things you can do independently. Even if you feel I don't have those gifts, say to your team, I'm out of ideas. You are going to have to bring me the opportunities, the people, the ideas, the tools, and the money to buy those tools if I don't have them yet. And I'm open, and you're going to do this now. I'm putting it back in your court. This is for you to work out, and I will be the receiver of this beautiful roadmap. And we'll walk this together and keep at them. Absolutely. Keep knocking on that door. It's lack of persistence that slows many a manifestation. And we don't say manifestation sort of like, oh, poof, something suddenly appears. It's always a gradual process, even if it seems to happen very quickly. Even if you jokingly say to your friend, oh, I'd love to have an extra $500. That would be great. You're laughing and having a wonderful time. And then later in that day, a check comes in the mail, completely unexpected, for that $500 or the PayPal notification or what have you. And you think, well, I was joyful when I said it. I was really happy, so I'll be joyful next time and make that happen again. And it may or may not fall together that quickly again, because the energy of the day, of the moment in which you're speaking this affirmation and how you're feeling about yourself, all of that goes into that moment, dear ones. So this is why persisting is very important when you want to create something. Put yourself through the emotional reality of having that successful, wonderful business. You're the one who decides what the word success means for you, that wonderful independent work or the wonderful job or some other form of economic support, so you don't feel that you're struggling. There's no need to struggle. You have been lied to, all of you. There's no lack anywhere. And even this system that you were stuck into and came into actually quite voluntarily to help transform it, even that cannot curtail, cannot hold up this beautiful flowing channel of abundance that comes straight from the universe. The system is not bigger than the universe. So relate to the universe, relate to your higher self, your spirit guides. These wonderful presences are always with you. There's no way to slow the manifestation of their love, their wisdom, their support, just keep knocking on that door. Some people find it helpful, to do things such as intermittent fasting. Let the universe know you're serious. We don't suggest that fasting is for everyone. Some people have some medical issues, etc. So then fast from the television for a bit, fast from video, digital gaming or movies for a week or two. Your fast is going to be a bit different, but the universe sees you giving. The universe sees you absolutely definite and clear, and require that information. Just say, I'm awaiting that provision. I'm awaiting that wisdom. This is what I absolutely require to earn every month, and I'm not going to take anything less than that. And I'm thankful for everything that comes in, but I'm also very clear with all of you requiring this, because I know you can do this for me. I know you can bring this in. And again, just keep persisting. You're going to keep knocking on that door. You think of it as soon as you wake up, you're giving thanks that the right ideas are flowing to you for the work you are meant to do now, that is joyful, fulfilling, positive. And if it doesn't pay very much, let them know, all right, then that the rest of that financial provision will come from something else. So I put that in your court as well. Now, Earth missions, we get to the second part. Earth missions are quite different than what you might do for a vocation, a job, etc. Your Earth mission, you're already doing, and you're doing it beautifully. Now let's call in the higher selves of everyone who will be watching this lovely interview. And we're just going to say to them, namaste, friends. What is the biggest issue here? And all right, wonderful, wonderful. So they're expressing that many people feel helpless as they look at people suffering in a war-torn country, or a situation where they're refugees, or they're homeless and hungry just in their own community where they live. They see a lot of people who are homeless. Our writer currently lives in California, many, many thousands of homeless, and one only has to just slightly drive into the Los Angeles area and other areas, and they're homeless nearly everywhere. So, you may get the feeling that you're not doing enough. And your teams, your beautiful guides and higher selves, are saying that your provision, yes, you can give money, you can give food to a homeless person, you can give money to organizations that you trust, but your provision is holding light, sending love to these people, sending them courage, and respecting their path. At some level, they chose this. And we don't say that to blame them. We don't say that to say, oh gosh, it's their mess, let them clean it up. This isn't what we mean. What we're saying is that their soul, on some level, has wanted to be in a situation where they were living outside of the structure of their culture. And there's something, in a sense, freeing about that for them, in another sense, difficult and frightening, and in another sense, very harsh, very hard on them physically, and many other elements to it, too much to go into, but they're gaining something. And at the same time, they also are in their own way anchoring light. So each time you are thinking of whatever group it is, whatever person it is going through a difficult time, you want to thank them for choosing this path. And let them know you chose this. Say that to them inwardly. And then say to yourself, and I chose this moment. I chose seeing others in pain and loving them, accepting them, honoring them, blessing them, sending a line of light from my heart to theirs, letting them know they're not alone. And this can be difficult because, of course, as empaths, as caring human beings, you want to sort of jump in there and rescue and help everyone you see. You don't want anyone to be in pain. And yet, if someone swooped in right now, dear ones, and we always give this example, if someone swooped down from the higher realms and cured every single issue in your life that has been bothering you or upsetting you, what have you, you would, and on some level, maybe there would be relief in the immediate sense, but on some level, you would say to them, well, now you need to put everything back the way it was, because I put this challenge in front of me to learn from it, to gain from it, to move forward from it, to end up more empowered, not less. And if you take away this issue, I'll only have to create something similar, because this is my path. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So, the mountain climber doesn't say, oh, let's wait until they flatten out this mountain and then it'll be okay. And the surfer doesn't say, oh, let's wait till the waves are really low and that'll be really easy. Not at all. All of you came in for this absolutely beautiful, as you call it, a wondrous ride, a wondrous journey.
True.
You didn't come in saying, oh, I just want the easiest time possible. There are people who did that, but that's their path. Allow them that. That's fine. That's all right. They're learning something from things being easier. And everyone's got their challenges. Everyone's got their light to anchor. All of you are doing a beautiful job with yours. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. 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 That's amazing. Thank you to the collective for these amazing, inspiring words. It's so true. If everything is flat, where's the challenge for us to grow and expand, right? Spiritually.
Yes,
And maybe
yes.
when we leave the body, the physical body says, what was I thinking? That was my opportunity to learn this or that. And then I just
Yes.
spoiled it. So, yeah. Thank you so much. I have another question now that the collective is with us, Caroline, and it is relating to relationships. So many people are looking for the twin flames and trying to see where are they? I'm here, I'm ready. Maybe not thinking or realizing that that's actually not that easy. It sounds romantic, but maybe that takes a lot of work to be and to continue evolving with your twin flame, right? Any word about that? How about the previous step, which maybe most of us are in, which is the pre-twin flame experience, where we are preparing as well in our spiritual path, learning lots of challenges, the mirror thing, the mirror experience with our partners. Anything about that to give those people who are looking for their other significant other to show up in their lives? Anything at this point that is, meaningful for them, please?
Well, for one, dear one, most people on the earth right now are here on their own. Their twin flame elected to remain back in the etheric, as you say, and yet there's this beautiful sense of preparation for when they move up to a level where they can see their twin flame is in the room with them. They have evolved to where that presence is either seemingly there physically or so much there in the etheric that they can just chat with them and share their life with them. And some people, you're right, already their twin flame is on the earth. It isn't always so that you're in the same part of the earth, but people are desiring to connect with their twin flame because it is so that relationships have been really sort of warped and much lower dimensional on the earth for a very long time. People have seen their partner as being the person who's going to sort of save them in some ways, maybe from the banality of life, maybe from that which they cannot quite deal with in their own spirit and their own personality, maybe that which gives some light and some reason for being, and which smooths over the difficulties and the everyday challenges that can just seem like a lot. Things seem, well, not so bad, maybe, if you've got a partner to face them with you, if that's the right partner. And so it hasn't been so much, romantic relationships haven't been so much a matter of we're walking this path together as I need you to be this in order for me to be happy over here. And as you're doing this, then you're helping to heal me over here, except that when someone is helping you to heal, dear ones, as you know, they're not always going to come up with the loveliest comments or actions. They're going to do exactly what brings out the old pain and the unhealed aspect of the spirit, the heart, the psyche. And this can be very difficult, and it will make you question, is this person right for me? And sometimes they're just someone you've met for a while. But on the twin flame front, that sort of growth is very, very different, because what you are facing is soul growth, and you're doing it in a very integrated way. This opposite number, yes, this reflection of your masculine self or your feminine self, they come forward, and there's this beautiful sense of completion and oneness, and yet there's still the path to walk. And we want to assure people, even though it doesn't sound very cheerful, even when you're with your twin flame, as you're reunited with them, you're still going to have the soul growth that you and this lovely other aspect of you marked out as being important for this life, or for your existence in the universe at this time, at this moment, at this point in your evolvement. So there's still growth, but we would say treat everyone you meet as potentially your soulmate or your twin flame, because there's something in their soul which is an incredible gift to you, or you would not have met them. And there's also something in their soul which is pure light. And in order to allow that moment, you're going to just release all feelings of expectation, of needing them to be this or that. And it's very important to do that, especially with loved ones. Just allow them to be who they are, and just observe the light that is their spirit. And if you feel your boundaries are not being respected, of course, speak up. Or if you feel that they're only being a people pleaser, not telling you really who they are or really what they truly desire in life, of course, speak up. It's just that when people label a new lover, a new partner, as being their potential one who is incredibly important to them, it can be a difficult moment, because that child inside is always looking for healing, always looking to return to the mother, always looking to return to the home, capital H, that is the higher realms. And so we tend to, of course, in human form, pitch that onto the lover. And it's not what you want for yourself. You would say to someone, I can't really be all that to you. And it's important to say that, to remind yourself as well, this person can't be everything for me. They're not any kind of an answer. They're just a helpmate. We're both evolving. And just look at them as a friend, more than anything else. Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure this will help so many of us who are on the search of their loved ones, their twin flames, or even those members of their soul groups, right? Which is probably the majority of cases we're in, experiencing life with them, with these partners. I have another question, and this is regarding the energies now, more focusing on the current energies of April. We just had this 4/4 portal. And so anything about that, May energies, what to expect, how to prepare ourselves, and maybe a little bit still regarding the end of this year, what can we expect unfolding, and how can we prepare, if you can give us some ideas to prepare ourselves for that.
Yes, indeed. Well, all right. Already the energies in April are absolutely powerful. There's no question. And many felt this coming in, beginning with spring equinox near the end of March. And so going into May as well, this alignment and conjunctions, Jupiter, Saturn, etc. All of this very, very powerful. There's just going to be so much coming in. Now, what can happen in those moments, dear ones, is that, again, a lot that's unhealed will come up, similar to when you fall in love. A lot will come up that feels safe to come forward. And partly, so much is being beamed onto the earth right now. You are somewhat under assault in terms of the energy transmissions, the dark energy transmissions from the old powers that were. But what predominates on the planet right now are the Ascension energies flowing in from the sun and these beautiful alignments. So think on that. Don't think on the disturbances. Don't think on the darker plan, because it's increasingly irrelevant. And what do you want to be predominant in your life and in your consciousness? Do you want to feel that predominantly you're on your own and life's a struggle and, oh gosh, they're really pulling out all the stops to make it hard on us? Or do you want to celebrate the miracle of what's happening, the evolvement of the earth and your own evolvement at the moment, as well as millions of other people's? We would concentrate on that. We would think in terms of the fact that you are coming into this Sat Yuga, this new peace and prosperity era that's going to last for tens and tens of thousands of years, and be aware that you're receiving so much help and give thanks for it and concentrate on that. So every day you want to just center yourself for a bit, give thanks for these energies, even if they feel to be a bit mad, feel to be shifting things very quickly and very in a way that feels a little disjointed, a way that feels a bit demanding some days. Play some high vibrational music or some sound healing if that assists you, some chimes, whatever it is that will assist you in reminding you this is where your vibration is. It actually belongs to a place of calm. It actually belongs to a place of, yes, higher vibration, but also beautiful calm and stillness. Get out into nature if you can. And, you know, if you're sitting on the grass, weather permitting, you're sitting, you're, spending time with an animal, a cat or a dog, a horse, what have you, and just the bees buzzing around, and just be aware that you are, as they are, moving to a vibration where you are flowing in this almost unconscious connection with pure love. And that after a while, you're realizing that's what's expressing through me all the time. Pure love is flowing through me and it's healing every single cell in the body. And at first, this will just seem ridiculous and your conscious mind will fight it a bit and say, I don't know, that just sounds ridiculous. I don't think I can relate to that. And how do I know that love is curing me of all ills and that I'm evolving that quickly or that beautifully and easily? And so the mind will argue with you and you can just tell it, please be quiet, because right now I'm just absorbing divine light. So we can do that right now if you'd like. Just image, what we give people is put yourself in a beautiful pillar of divine light. It's just pouring down through the body, down through the aura, through the radiance beyond that. And this beautiful sparkling gold dust is just falling down and permeating your entire being and filling every single cell of your body with divine golden light. It's sort of like one speck of gold dust. Some people call it monoatomic gold dust, which is actually very healing. And that's actually what's literally coming in. But you just image that you're absorbing all of that right now. It's flowing through you. And so as you're imaging that, you're thinking to yourself and you're feeling in your heart space, even without words. You're feeling strongly. I am flowing with these energies so perfectly. I am evolving perfectly into higher light. I am healing within and without. I am pure light. Anything discordant, anything trying to fight or resist that light leaves me now. And all the inner resistances, dear ones, that comes from earth trauma, that comes from maybe entity intrusions, energetic intrusions, old transmissions, old programming from this and other lives. Just image density leaving you, whether it's trauma, whether it's interferences, old mental or emotional programming, the restrictions of the old religions, the dense ones, all of them just flowing out of you like a gray cloud dissipating into pure light. And this doesn't have to take a long time. You can do it within a few moments. You can do it almost anywhere. We would say, as feelings of upset or unhappiness come up, honor that and say to those emotions, yes, I see you. It's all right. I'm right here with you. And what we're accepting now is beautiful healing for all of that. Are you ready to move up? And what you may sense perhaps is an inner child saying, I don't know, maybe they're a little afraid, maybe they're a little challenged by all these changes coming in at once, and they're just not sure. And image yourself holding that child and saying, all is well. I won't drop you. I'm right here. I will protect you in all of this from anything that's rough. We'll travel this together. And what a beautiful adventure we're on. We're only walking into greater and greater light. All the angels are here with us. It can be helpful just to say that when you're in a rough moment. You don't feel there's enough money coming in, just keep saying, all the abundance angels are here with me. There's only divine flow of all forms of abundance to me now. You can affirm that for healing. You can affirm it for your finances, for your relationships, whatever it is. Finding new work, whatever it is you need to do. I'm only receiving divine love right now. I'm only living amongst beautiful angelic presences, and they lift me up all the time. Thank your dream state. People are getting rather interesting dreams. That's all right. You're healing a lot in those times, and you're releasing the false self created to protect you. You're reverting to the authentic self, and you're releasing entity intrusions, any dark energies that crept in at some point. And reassure yourself that this old system of incarnating and trying to learn the same lessons over and over and not quite making it and coming back in and trying again and again and again in this dense atmosphere, it's ended now. It's over. You'd never have to come back to the third dimension if you don't want to. Mm. And there are far higher forms, higher iterations of 3D if you wanted to come back to 3D. So all is well.
Oh, thank you, Caroline, and the collective. That was just awesome. Thank you. I just felt like in the clouds. So abundant, so loved, the angels with us. Thank you. And I'm sure all of our viewers have felt the same. I'm sure of that. It's incredible, but it's almost a whole hour has just elapsed. I cannot believe it, how fast time runs and flies when we're together with Caroline and her gifts and this amazing collective group of high vibrational spirit guides. And so, of course, I think it's time. I know that you have a couple of offers that maybe you would like to talk about at this point in our conversation. Caroline, can you tell us about it?
Yes, we will bid you goodbye for now, and our Raja will come in. We just want to say very quickly regarding Earth missions. Yes, absolutely. We're honored to assist. Regarding Earth missions, this is something you do in your sleep state. You won't necessarily know about it consciously. We can help. We do help people in channeling sessions all the time to tell them their specific mission. Many are working with the inner crystals and inner earth. Many are on the ships. Many are in the pyramids and sending out healing energies and working with human consciousness on many, many levels. And the stories we see are quite astounding. So we just want to, again, reassure everyone, you're doing your mission. Never doubt that. It's just that it's in the etheric and you're not always consciously aware. But we give our thanks and we'll bring our writer back now.
Thank
Namaste.
you. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Sandra, for having the collective and I here. And I just want to, quickly say about the special offer that, let me see here, I'll bring it up. There's an option one, which is $97, and that is a 30-minute session with the collective, and also an ebook version, a PDF format ebook of New Earth Journeys, dealing with the collective speak on dealing with personal and global crises. And many people found it very, very helpful for dealing with how intense life is right now.
Indeed.
And then you also get their MP3 guided meditation, releasing unconscious abundance blocks, which people find very helpful. And if you prefer, I can send another one other than that, but people would need to have in mind the MP3 they would prefer. And then there's option 2,
for sure,
which is for 137, and that's a 45-minute session with the collective, which again, both these prices are less than what your sessions actually generally cost. And then ebook version of Abundance for All by the Collective and New Earth Journeys, and 2 of meditations, releasing unconscious abundance blocks and soul contact, speaking with your twin flame. So you have a connection to your lovely twin flame in the etheric, and it can be very reassuring. Yeah.
Perfect.
So, whenever people choose, I will get in touch with you to schedule your session and send you the link to the ebooks and MP3s.
Exactly. Perfect. So yes, all of these offers are very generous and at a very reduced price. So, I mean, they're out there for you during the time that we are airing. And this is from today, May the 22nd through May the 31st. And all of the links will be there available for you daily in your email. So just check your email. Make sure that everything is there so that you have access to these amazing offers. And later on, of course, after closing, you will again, and whenever you want, you desire, you will be able to connect with Caroline herself, as you will have all of those contact informations, all of those links there. So is there any last thought, Caroline, that you would like to share with us that comes now at this time, at this very minute before closing?
Oh, I just want to encourage people, make sure you have some community. I know that sometimes a light bearer can feel to be really isolated. Sometimes you can find, I found some wonderful friends just, on Facebook. We have an abundance group, the abundance group, that's a Facebook group page. And then we do the abundance calls, which are free and open to everyone. If you go to ascensiontimes.com, you'll see where it says abundance group, and get on the email list for that to receive email reminders and the link to the Zoom link to the call. And you can also call in by phone. And however you do it, however you get some community, make sure you have that, because we're really being stretched at this time, and everyone needs support. Everyone needs to know they're not alone in what they're going through. It can take a lot of pressure off just to hear other people say, wow, these energies are intense. I'm feeling exhausted, or I feel like I'm asleep and awake at the same time, or, a bit strange, a little bit shaken up or weird, what have you. And I suddenly don't want to do this anymore, but I do want to do this, etc. So it's a big help. It's just a huge help.
Indeed. More than ever before, we need to belong, right? To find our paths. Thank you so much, Caroline. I've just, we're thrilled with all of the sharings. And viewers, please let us know your thoughts, how your biggest takeaways by hitting reply to this email, or just sharing your thoughts and your whatever comes to your mind and your takeaways in my private Facebook group, Your Glorious Ascension Journey, and Wondrous Ascension. That's the private Facebook group name. So thank you so much for being here, and we will be seeing again on the next episode of Wondrous Ascension Ride 2022, The Light at the End of the Tunnel. Thank you so much. Take care. And remember, peace starts in the heart. To be the peace that you want to see out there, start here in your heart. Thank you so much. Take good care. Bye for now. Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you very much, Sandra. And much love to everyone.